tonight's the night. This is the first event that I am holding for the happening. So it is an evening where people understand what Turn Lights On is and also how they can use it within their business, within their societies and in their communities. So I'm very nervous. I'm a bit worried that they're not going to get what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to be and do as much as I can, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it as well. That's one of my outcomes. I'm going to enjoy it. So, and hopefully turn their lights on.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Turn Lights On is not an idea. It's not a concept. It's not a program. It's a practice. It's a practice, and the reason why I know it's a practice is because I've been practicing it all my life. And it just hit me to turn lights on. I know it sounds biblical, but it was just like bang, to turn lights on. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to do that. And it was a word that I'd used for a long time when I was coaching people, developing people, because a lot of books about presence, they're quite confusing and they go into quite a lot of detail. So I would just be like, turn your lights on, and people would get that. So it was a word that I was using quite a bit. So I went back to the UK and wrote a book all about how we can instill presence within our life, in our business, in our societies, how we can be more in the moment. And also I was really conscious that I wanted it to be something that anyone could pick up. You could pick it up and just go with it. You don't have to do 9 hours of yoga and eat a raw diet and be all zen to the maximum. You can just embrace it and get on with life. The first week of January, sat there with no amazing team, with no client base, with no pipeline work, with enough money to keep me going for a bit, all vague, a bit. I'm just sat there thinking, right, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to turn the world's lights on? How am I going to do it? And I decided then and there, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get people to do it with me. I'm going to speak to as many people that can listen, because ultimately this is about a movement. This is about us saying that we want something different from our lives. Are you ready to delve into the practice of Turn Lights On? Yes. Yes? Good. That was the right answer. Okay. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to introduce yourself to somebody in the room like they are completely insignificant. You really don't even want to share their oxygen. Actually, you're a bit annoyed they're even in the room. So what I'd like you to do now, I'd like you to introduce yourself to somebody in the room like they're your long-lost best friend. You haven't seen them forever, and you are so delighted to see them now! Fantastic. Okay. So what we just did then is dialed up our energy. Yeah? That's what you just did. You just dialed up your energy. And then when you didn't want to speak to anyone, you dialed down your energy. So firstly, one takeaway. What turns your light on? And do it as much as possible. Second thing, what turns your light off? And remember, with turning your lights off, there is lots of companies, big organizations, people make money from turning your lights off, because that builds that need of I need, I want. And when your lights are turned off, there's only so many handbags you can buy. There's only so many glasses of wine you can drink. There's only so many times you can decorate the living room. There is only so many times you can do that. So it's working out what turns your light off and realizing that we haven't got a filter. They come in. So it's understanding your light. But the biggest thing, and I think the biggest thing in regards to confidence and gaining confidence and giving confidence, is giving and turning other people's lights on. What can I give? How can I turn other people's lights on? Because if I spend my day turning other people's lights on, that's going to make me feel good. So if I walk into work, for example, and I'm turning my team's lights on, they're going to perform for me. If I am talking to my children and I'm turning their lights on for me, they're going to be good for me. So it's this connection, this energy, and it's not hard. It's just actually sharing that moment with that person. It's just listening to them. It's just being in that moment with them. So it's, what turns my light on? Go home, write a list. Do it lots, every day. What turns it off? Avoid it. And how can I turn lights on? I believe nobody comes to work to do a bad job. I don't think it's not, right, I'm going to go and do a bad job today. It doesn't work like that. I think the way that we communicate with our people is absolutely key. The way that we engage with our people is absolutely key. In the 2 chapters of the book, it talks about 2 things. The first thing is the supermarket challenge. Who likes grocery shopping? No, it's expensive and boring. So when you go grocery shopping, you might as well lighten it up, really. So what I do, I normally look at the cashiers and I look for the person that needs their lights turned on. That's the first thing that I do. So I scan the thing, and whoever's with me gets really annoyed because I normally go in like the long queue. And then, so I go to the counter and I talk to them. Eyes, look at their eyes. It's a really simple thing, but so many people don't actually do it. So look in their eyes, have a conversation, normally say something random and weird, and then we have more conversations, and then we have a laugh, and then I walk away. And then what I love to do, my favourite bit, is I look and I see if they're different with the next person. And they normally are. So then I think to myself, right, okay, so she's turning his light on, he's turning someone else's light on, and consequently, all these lights are getting turned on in the world. And it's just tiny, simple idea. One of the things that I want to do is set up these confidence colleges. So this is the goal. This is the big goal for one day in my life. I want to set up these online places and offline where people can just get more confidence. I see it a lot. I see all these children with amazing potential and real lacking in self-confidence, And I think it's getting worse. I really do. So that's the mission. And I'd like to suggest that is our mission. I've got some of the people in the happening that have been doing this since the beginning of the year, and their results have been amazing. Businesses have changed, relationships have changed, because ultimately what's happened is that they've woken up. That's all it is. It's just waking up. It's waking up. It's going from that to presence, to being in the moment. And if you're not in the moment of your life, you're not in your life. So ultimately, you want to make every moment matter. And now, I just want to take the whole world with me and turn everyone on with me. And turn lights on together, we will. So thank you so much.
What does turn lights on mean to you?
TLO means being here, now, right in this moment, connecting with you, talking with you, sharing with you, and taking from you too.
Turn lights on for me is about switching on a mindset to achieve and go for what you want. I think through the talk that you've given this evening, it's reminding people that they've got a unique talent, they've got skills, ambition, and the approach that you endorse and what you teach people through your seminars, your book, your tours and working with business is about stopping and reflecting on who you are as a person.
I'm definitely going to be more proactive, and I'm going to commit to writing a blog about all the things I do that are going to support Turn Lights On over the next 30 days.
The thing that made it click for me was the dial of thinking about energy and how you can, and not, that's not about being a clown or joking around, that's just about increasing your energy to help other people realise and join in with you and increase their energy levels and turn their lights on.
The biggest thing I'm going to try it with is my students and everyone I meet, because a lot of students I meet haven't got any confidence in regards to their academic abilities, and once I've turned their lights on, I think they're going to be able to achieve and move forward and see their sort of potential.
I'm going to apply it to a problem teenage kids. So I'm going to use that energy and that listening and that openness with my kids, and I'm going to try and turn their lights on so they don't turn mine off.
I think I'm going to look people in the eye and speak to them, and I'm going to listen instead of checking my phone. And I'm certainly going to do that with my teenage daughter as well, because we're often both sitting on the settee, each checking the phone while ignoring each other.
I've just done my first happening event and I feel quite amazing actually, feel amazing. What I'm really inspired by is that everyone took what I was sharing with them and applied it to their lives in different ways. So I had people talking about how they're going to turn lights on for their business, or how they're going to turn lights on in their family or in their community, or their own personal light as well. So I'm just excited. I'm really excited because the happening is growing and the movement is growing, and that's all I really want, is for more people to be turning lights on. So I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled.